You get tired of just constantly battling.
It is so cold, the microphone's literally died.
I like being here. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I'm 80 years old.
You're 80?
Yeah.
I've got a neighbor, Miner, very good friend. He's actually 90. He just turned 90.
What? Oh.
Boy, it sounds terrible. Every day is another problem. It's too hard. It's too hard to live.
It's estimated that only around 0.1% of Americans currently live off the grid. In Alaska, that number is over 8%. In fact, there are over 250 villages here inaccessible by road, many of which can only be reached by float plane or snow machine. What's the appeal to this homestead style of life, especially in a place as remote and unforgiving as the Alaskan interior, where today, December the 10th, 2025, it is minus 19 degrees Fahrenheit. It will dip down to minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit. And there is less than 4 hours of daylight. Well, I'm with Nathan, a Northern Lights photographer and tour guide who has been here since he was a child. And he's taken me to see his friend Kurt, who has lived off-grid on a gold mine for how many years?
I think he's been there for over 15 years. He's retired and gold mining is his hobby. He has this homestead on a gold claim. He built the cabin out of logs that are on the property.
Okay.
Pretty much everything that's out there, he's built himself, and it's even colder down in the valley where the mine is.
Okay, so where he lives is even colder than Fairbanks.
Yeah, usually it's about 10 or 15 degrees colder down there.
But before we meet Kurt and tour his mine, we have about a 30-mile drive. So I guess a question for you, Nathan, why do you think so many people are attracted to living an alternative style of life in Alaska?
I think a lot of people just get tired of the rat race of living in the big city. It's just a slower pace of life out here. It's simpler. There's a sense of community up here that you don't feel when you're down in the States.
Yeah.
You know, it's the kind of place where you get a flat tire and you pull off to the side of the road, you're going to have 2 or 3 people that are going to stop to ask if you want help. I've probably got about a dozen friends who live off-grid. Most of them are living in dry cabins, which are basically just small log cabins that don't have running water, but they have heat and electricity. They've got an outhouse instead of a regular bathroom. So even when it's like 30 below zero, you're going out to an unheated outhouse.
Well, your butt could literally freeze to the seat at that temperature, right?
In fact, you can't use a normal toilet seat. You've got to use styrofoam. So they're all kind of makeshift.
We passed by a street that said Gold Mine Trail. I'd assume there are a lot of untapped resources up here.
Yes, absolutely. There is so much gold in these hills, hundreds and hundreds of gold mines of all different scales. We have everything from guys that are working gold claims, old school style, like picks and shovels, which is kind of what Kurt is doing, all the way up to America's largest open pit mine, which is Fort Knox Gold Mine. We're on the Steese Highway right now. The next town is Yukon River Camp. It's about 5 or 6 hours from here. After that, I believe Coldfoot is next. And then Prudhoe Bay, which is the very northernmost tip of Alaska.
Even to me, like, Fairbanks is remote. It takes a different type of person to live in an actual off-grid, freezing cold. If your heating, whatever you use for heating, stops working, like, you literally die.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you got to be a different animal to live here. I think most people up here get a kick out of the survival lifestyle. Keeps things interesting. It's never boring. It also builds a sense of camaraderie and community here amongst the locals.
In your time here, basically been here for 25 years,
Yep.
Has there been an increase in the types of people who want to live off-grid?
Yeah, I would say so. And a lot of that is because of TV shows, YouTube videos, the word has gotten out. And so there's been an influx in the last 15, 20 years. Down there to the left, that's the valley that the mine is in. It's down at the very lowest point there. And Kurt should be coming up on his four-wheeler to pick you up any minute now.
And Kurt has arrived. Good to meet you, Kurt.
Yeah.
So this is your property.
This is public. We just kind of use it. Right here, this is the old railroad grade.
Oh, wow.
And it just came right on through here and into town. This, on this side, is called mental health land.
What does that mean?
State land. It's a mental health trust. The state gives, there's quite a bit of land in Alaska that's given to mental health, and they are able to lease it out for mining or other purposes. This road here is technically on mental health property.
This quote-unquote road.
This road.
Yeah.
Yeah, this road, this highway here.
And so how far is your property and then how far is the mine from the street?
The property starts probably here in another few hundred yards. Our mining claim. We have 15 40-acre claims down in this valley. They gave us permission to put up a cabin. Actually, they said you could put up 2 buildings.
How did you get your claims? You have to purchase them or a raffle or?
No, I got them through researching while I was in Colorado, living in Colorado. Our property starts right here. Our claim starts right here at this point. I did research, and then if claims are open, there's mining ground that's all over the state. It can either be open or claimed. Well, these had been claimed at one time, and then I discovered that they were dropped or no longer active, and I picked them up.
While you were still living in Colorado?
No, not really, because you got to go out and stake them and then file. So I found them, and we got up here to Alaska, and I proceeded to stake the claims on the 1st of January in 2007.
So you've been here almost 20 years.
Yeah. It was like 30 degrees below zero, and I trudged through the forest in about 2 feet of snow, pulling a little sled with all the tools that I needed to do the staking. I just lost my heating pad. There it is. So
hand warmers.
Yeah, gotta have them.
It's a lot colder here than in town, right?
No, it's a lot warmer.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. But it won't be down in the valley. Where the mine is...
Or are we going further down, too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The mine's likely going to be 35 below. Down there.
Okay.
So I hope you're very well dressed.
Let's get bundled up and go explore Kurtis Homestead.
Yeah, we'll go down to the cabin here.
So to get to the actual property, we hop on the four-wheeler?
Oh, yeah. It's about 1.5 miles distance. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
The real Alaskan lifestyle.
Yeah. This is kind of the storage yard.
So this is your house here?
Yeah. We'll stop in, say hello to my wife.
Okay. Wow. And so Nathan told me you built everything here from scratch.
Yeah, we cut the logs, cut the trees down and peeled the bark. My wife did most of the peeling, cut it up, stacked it up and let it dry, and then came back a year later and built the cabin.
Okay.
And that was back in 2012, something like that. She knows the exact date.
Okay.
Come on in. We're coming in. Come on in.
Hey there, how
This
you
is
doing?
Alethea, and this is
Alethea?
Mango.
Nice to meet you, Mango.
Mango.
Nice to meet you.
Fruit.
Yeah.
Are you from Colorado as well?
Originally grew up in Kansas, but yeah,
Okay.
a lot of years in Colorado.
Whose idea was it to move out to this homestead?
Well, it was kind of his, but he said, to move to the homestead. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of both of ours, but more mine than his.
Oh yeah, well, you're tall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
No,
didn't
it's,
realize how tall he was.
Gotta watch out for life.
And so what was the main reason you wanted to live this way?
Well, it's
Necessity.
well, necessity sort of, yeah. But I mean, I've had a dream like this since I was a young girl. I used to go out on the country roads with my brothers and sisters and play covered wagon, pioneer stuff.
Okay.
So I've had this dream for a long time. And Kurt, he's my second husband, and he's the one who was more interested in this kind of lifestyle than my first husband. We also economically just needed to live a little cheaper than we were living in town.
Do you basically live free here?
No. Sort of yes and sort of no. I mean, no house payment, but fuel costs are extensive.
Okay.
And taxes.
Yeah.
We have to pay
And
tax.
we do have to pay property tax. on
Property
it.
tax. You'd think not, but I forgot. We have exemption, so we don't have to
We
pay
have-
it. After you're 65, I guess it is 65. If it's your primary residence, then you don't have to pay property tax.
So is the just free type of life, live however you kind of want in Alaska, is that the main appeal for both of you guys?
Kind of. She likes it more than me. I like being in town a lot too, but
Okay.
I like being close to the mine, and I like being here. It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
and I'm 80 years old. And
You're 80?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you seem to be in great shape.
He is in great shape for an 80-year-old. He doesn't want to admit it, but he is.
What did I say this morning? What keeps me in great shape? Oh, carrying around all kinds of junk in my pockets, that's what keeps me in shape.
Well, and probably mining too. That's a workout.
It is. You'll see.
One thing I'm curious about is how does all your electricity, sewage,
I'll show you.
all that stuff work? Is this a dry cabin?
Technically, it's a dry cabin because we don't have plumbing. We don't have running water from a city system of any sort. But we have a tank. If you want to see it, it's right here in the back corner. I'll let you just peek in right through there.
Oh, wow.
You can see the tank.
Right here.
That's the pump room, we call it.
So do you fill that up at the spring?
No, I'll show you the line. I've been working on it actually just before you arrived. Got a full bathroom in there, shower and laundry and everything.
Very primitive toilet situation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've been kind of experimenting with the potty.
Oh, right here, yeah.
In the summertime, we had a system that worked just wonderful, but things are different.
So is it like
winter.
kitty litter in a bucket?
It's just sawdust.
Oh, sawdust.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
We're running water for laundry and a shower.
Yeah, no, you guys got everything.
We do.
microwave, got the microwave, got the
It's 5-star off-grid living. Oh, sorry.
yeah. You gotta.
Thank you.
We should have posted signs. Watch your head.
No, this is super cozy.
Watch
And then your
your-
guys' bedroom here?
The bedroom, yeah.
Yeah.
We noticed that the bed is up high. That's so that we have storage there, but also it keeps it warmer at night.
Oh, yeah, because heat rises.
Yep.
Just how self-sufficient are you guys? Like, how often do you have to go to town?
Oh, I go to town about every day.
Really?
No, you don't.
No, I
That's
don't.
okay.
We burn a lot of fuel, a lot of gas, and a lot of propane. I'll typically go 4 times a week.
Mainly for gas, or?
No, just and I'm always buying stuff, especially because we're building.
But actual self-sufficiency in terms of fuel and water, the water is about every 10 to 12 days,
Yeah.
and then the fuel is probably every 4 days or so.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of trips to town for the building process over there.
And then for like food, do you guys grow anything, or?
Well, no, because we've only had one summer here and we were busy building that. I'd like to have a small garden of some sort, but it won't be fully self-sufficient.
And do you guys hunt?
He wants to.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten it down yet. I just bought that rifle that's
Okay.
up on the wall there. That's just a 22, and I'm going to plink some grouse. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll have grouse for Christmas.
Oh. Well, I guess you like to go to town, but is the goal for you to never have to go to town?
Oh, I avoid town if I
Yeah,
can.
she does. Brandon at the store, his wife has a record of like 96 days without
Oh,
going
I have
to
to see
town.
if I can beat her record.
When's the last time you went to town?
November 18.
So almost a month
A
ago.
month ago, yeah.
She just goes in
But
like
then
for
I hadn't
medical.
been in for,
Long.
well, since we moved out here.
We just sold a house in town. We were living there for 3 years, and we had to flee this place because it got so cold, and we weren't really ready. This was like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. And we got out just in time. We left like the 1st of December, found a house to buy in town, and it was lucky we moved because it was a big snow right after we left. It would have.
So were you guys like trapped here almost? Or
We
you
would
would have
almost. It would
Well,
almost.
if we had waited like 3 more weeks, we probably would have been. We had what's called Snowmageddon, which was like 2 feet of snow and then a layer of ice on it, and then another 6 to 8 inches on top of that, more ice.
Really
And if we had stayed, we'd have been trapped for several weeks. Yeah.
And that's
Well-
like dangerous because when you run out of fuel, then you're
Well,
dead,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, we had fire. We
Oh,
always
okay.
had fire, so we just stayed warm.
So do you chop wood all summer to make sure you have enough for the winter?
Pretty much.
He splits the rounds and I do the splitting.
I
So.
haul the trees, cut the trees down and cut them up, and then she splits them.
Yeah.
And we're on state claims, and as long as we use the wood just for our own purposes, we can cut as much as we need to. But we can't sell it without a permit.
There's a lot of things like that in Alaska where it's like, if it's for self-sufficiency, you can kind of just do whatever you want.
When you have to have permission in certain situations. Like there's a couple up by Copper River.
Subsistence.
Yes, they have subsistence permission to actually hunt in the national park. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah, we'll take the rest of the tour.
Yeah, no, this is, nice to meet you. This is
Do
beautiful.
you want any hot pads?
I think I'll be okay,
You
honestly.
think you'll be?
Yeah.
I'll just bring some extra just in case.
Say this place was 3-4 hours from Fairbanks. I know you could live there. Would Kurt be able to live there too, you think?
He would fuss.
Oh, 3 or 4
like if
hours
you're
away
really
from.
in the middle of nowhere, yeah.
Yeah, that I wouldn't be able to handle
I don't think I want to be that
that.
far away either, just because we're getting old enough that we have
Yeah.
to consider that as
Right.
a factor.
And so do you enjoy the cold?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I wouldn't say enjoy. but I like winter. So
Yeah.
I go outside today and it feels kind of warm, and I think, oh, this is all right.
Okay.
And it's minus 14 right now.
Oh, you have a thermometer.
right there.
Oh, so it is a bit warmer here than in town.
If you
Yes,
dress
we know.
warm enough out here, it's just about anything is bearable. Working in the cold is not that bad as long as you can keep warm while you're working. That's
I
the
bring
key.
the firewood in every day. Take care of the potty buckets, and those are all outside chores. So.
Well, I guess, yeah, like what are some things that most people in town would never think of that are just like, you have to do this to be able to live here?
Haul water. Well, they have to haul water in town
Yeah,
too.
even
but
in town they
it's,
haul water in many places.
Yeah. We even hauled water at our other house in town.
Around here, most people would consider all the things that we're doing as something you have to do to live off grid the way we do.
Well, like in the lower 48, people
The
that
lower
people would
48.
never know.
They never think
Yeah,
about
run-
portable potty buckets, that's for sure.
So that's just normal even in where you have to do
There are-
that.
yeah. And a lot of people think, well, if you're living in a cabin like this, that you can't have running water. But we obviously have made that work.
That was one of my main concerns about being here in the winter, is being able to get water in and out. So far, it's been pretty easy because we don't have a lot of snow. My concern was that it was going to be so much snow that I wasn't going to be able to get in, so I got some different equipment this year, side by side. I got that, and we're actually having tracks put on it right now. Instead of wheels, it's going to have tracks. If the snow gets really bad, which it could, we'll be able to haul water with that. So far, it's been a relatively easy winter, other than now this cold it just saps the energy out of you.
Well, I feel like, yeah, most people, when they get older, they go to Florida to retire. You guys went the opposite way.
I said to her yesterday.
That will never happen.
Yeah,
I can't stand heat. I grew up in Kansas, and I've had enough heat. That's, somebody else can have the warmth. I don't want that.
Well,
Yeah,
let's go
let's go for a tour.
take a look at the
Thank
rest
you.
of things.
You're welcome.
So you got lots of wood indoors, and then you got the whole pile outside, I saw.
Oh yeah, we got lots of wood out here. Yeah. This is a quilting studio. My wife is a quilter.
Oh.
We'll start here. Here's the generator shed.
So this is how you get electricity.
Yeah, it's a mess, but I haven't had time to really straighten things out. That'll happen here during the winter.
So you
We've
have
got
two, just in case one dies.
That's exactly right. And underneath that tarp is one just like the red one.
Yeah.
That one was the original one we had here. That lasted about 6 years before it needed work. Before we got this new Honda, we got this Champion, and it's a pretty big generator. It uses a lot more fuel. It's noisier, but we had trouble with the new Honda,
Yeah.
so we were so glad we had the Champion to go as backup, and that's happened now at least 3 times. Right here, this is one of those diesel heaters. So at night, I just program it so that at 5 in the morning, the heater comes on and it heats underneath the generator. And then when I get up and come out here at 7:30, it's warm enough to start. That's been a real blessing to have that diesel heater.
Yeah.
And I just bought another one yesterday in that box.
Okay. And so around how much fuel do you use per day?
The Honda uses 5 gallons, just about 5 gallons in a day. And we keep the generator on until midnight. I turn it off at midnight and then start it back up. But this is just still in the construction phase.
What was your background back in Colorado? Did you do construction?
I restored furniture. That was one of the pieces I did, but it's now serving as a workbench.
Oh, you have a little workout station with the rower.
Yeah, I'm an avid rower.
Oh.
Yeah, I do that regularly.
It's important to stay moving in this cold, huh?
Yeah. What's kind of funny is I'll be done with a workout and just wearing shorts, nothing else, well, shoes. And when I'm done, I'm so warmed up. It doesn't matter how cold it is. I just walk back without putting anything else on. My wife thinks it's kind of funny. We got to put down the laminate flooring. This week we'll be starting the paneling on the walls. Finish the lighting. That's
So you're
just
working
about
all day
it.
pretty much usually.
This has taken up just about all of my time.
Yeah.
I try to get down to the mine a little bit, but I just need to get this done and spend more time at the mine after January.
Okay.
Yeah. Careful of the step.
So obviously there's a lot of work required to live this way. A lot of people would think you have to give up a lot to live this way of life, but what do you gain in your opinion?
No, I don't think you have to give up a lot, but you have to be willing to work pretty hard to maintain pretty much any kind of lifestyle. Now, I enjoy going to town, so if I'm going to spend time in town with my friends, that means I got to work all the harder out here. But fortunately, I still have enough energy to do pretty much whatever I need. So once in a great while, I'll have someone who wants to come out and help me. In fact, there is a young guy here, works at the Fort Knox gold mine. He's very interested in mining, and he's agreed to help me, just about as much as he can. That's going to be a real blessing. Also, it's a much safer situation. Being by myself, especially in this cold, is not great.
Yeah.
Because things can happen, and you could freeze to death shortly.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. All right, are you ready to head to the mine?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to unhook the sled. We don't need the sled.
So do you enjoy having a very active retirement?
Yeah, I don't think I will ever be sedentary, you know. That's just not part of my nature. I've got to be doing something. So I'm going to put this on.
Oh, because the wind,
Yeah. How far to the mine?
Yeah.
It's probably about a mile and a half.
So you leave this running all the time, because if it stops working,
No, actually this morning I had a hard time getting it going. I had left the key on yesterday, so the battery was quite drained. So I put the charger on it, got it charged up enough so that we have no problem. But that does remind me, I'm going to put a little bit more fuel in. Good thing to make sure you got plenty of fuel when you're going out. I've had times, and this is mostly in the spring, when the snow is deeper and it's real slippery, I'll have really hard time getting up from the mine. I've had times where I've had to literally winch myself 25, 30 feet and then tie onto another tree, go another 25, 30, do that all the way for a half a mile. That's a long way.
Yeah. And I feel like you know what you're doing survival-wise. Most people would you'd be screwed,
It could be. I was going to get some fuel here.
Okay. Have you ever had an emergency up here where something just stopped working?
I haven't, and I'm very thankful for that. Whoa, man, that filled up. Another reason why I like someone coming to work with me is I'm kind of careless. As you can see there, I just let fuel run all over. I get going too fast.
Would you be interested in having other people help you out here?
Yeah, I actually have 3 guys, younger guys, who want to work with me. One of them actually is coming from out of state. He's coming up from Washington.
Okay.
He's actually came here to visit. Let me find out about him. They won't arrive till spring.
Yeah.
And then I have this young guy from the mine who wants to work with me, and then I have another young fellow who lives in North Pole. He really likes working with me, so I'm thinking we could have as many as 4 of us down at the mine working. So here we go.
Alrighty, let me hop on.
Oh, sorry, I hit the throttle.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's head down to the gold mine.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh, sorry. You've ridden on these before, haven't you? Sure. And where are you from?
From Massachusetts originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You lived in Colorado most of your life?
I'm originally from Illinois. I came to Wyoming in 1963. This is the water line.
Yeah.
And yesterday and today I've been wrapping it in this foil, and I've got heat tape that runs all the way up to the end. There's where I unload the water. So it just runs down gravity feed into the cabin.
Is this a little stream right here?
No, this is the famous Davidson Ditch. It's a 92-mile ditch that was built to supply water for the gold dredges down in the Gold Stream Valley. This heads up in the Chattanooga River. The actual distance is a lot shorter than the ditch.
Yeah.
Because it has to go in and out around the different valleys.
And when the snow melts, does it flood pretty bad?
No, it floods a little bit for about a week. It just drains out on a number of places, and then there's no water after that.
So where? You were from Illinois, but then you moved to Colorado?
Moved to Wyoming to go to school there.
Okay.
Laramie. I've always been interested in rocks ever since I was real little, and I started out in geology at Wyoming and couldn't hack the math and the chemistry and all that, so I jumped to my proclivity, which is art. Mm-hmm. I'm naturally an artist, not naturally a scientist. So
you're a jack of all trades now.
Eventually I worked my way back into the geology stuff and got into mining through a friend who was a metallurgist, and he got me interested in gold, and it just kind of took off from there. I had a claim in Colorado in the mountains outside of Boulder.
So you already mined back in Colorado before?
Well, it was dredging. It was, and I never really got anything. I just had a lot of fun. But it all got taken out by a massive flood. Everything that I had done just got buried in tons and tons of rock and sand.
And that was right before you moved up here?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, no, you live in a winter wonderland, man. Oh. This is amazing.
Well, I have, at least in the summer, I have the most wonderful commute that anybody could want.
Yeah.
And especially at night when I come back and the lights are shining on all the...
Yeah.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Oh, sorry. I'll try to be aware that...
Oh, no, you're good. I'm dodging them.
Okay.
Do you have any concerns living off the grid?
Yeah, I do have a concern that it'll snow someday really much, and we'll have a hard time getting in and out. That'll be lessened with the track machine.
So you live in this kind of way, you have to kind of plan 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, well, most of the folks who are doing this are younger. I think if they don't have it all figured out, they probably just relying on that they're young and strong and they can muscle their way through.
Yeah.
I think you could get in a lot of trouble if you weren't really prepared.
Okay.
And I'm sure a lot of young people who try this are going to leave. Just like the miners, you know, back in the Yukon gold rush when there were so many came up with these grandiose ideas of making fortune, and 90% of them ran home because it was just too hard.
Or a lot of them died too.
Oh, a lot of them died, yeah.
Did you kind of idolize stories of that growing up, reading about the Yukon Gold Rush?
I've always been fascinated with the mountain man. I love the mountain man image.
The abridged version of Alaska.
Yeah, that really is, yeah. So
right.
This is where we depart from the ditch. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Cold? Okay.
Fingers are a little cold, but once we stop, I'll warm them up. So this is a huge property. Do you have neighbors?
Yes and no. I've got a neighbor miner, very good friend, but that's 3.5 miles away. So, you know, you can't really say he's a close neighbor. We visit regularly. He's actually 90. He just turned 90.
What? Holy!
Yeah, and he's still active. He and his wife both. They have a very interesting mine. Theirs is called a decline.
Yeah.
It goes in at an angle underground.
And he's 90 and still mining gold and living this way.
I don't want to get off. There we go. Yeah, his mine is unique in all the world in that it goes through totally undisturbed sediments and the glacial, it's called less. That's the technical term, less, L-O-E-S-S. It's basically undisturbed because there was no glaciation around here. So he has scientists come fairly regularly to research at his mine.
It's so fascinating to me just how different from the lower 48 Alaska already is, and then this is just like a whole other level of extreme.
Oh yeah, this is extreme. There's very few miners that go to their mine as I'm doing.
At least your only traffic is probably moose.
Yeah, we just crossed the moose tracks.
Oh, really? Oh, right there, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go this way.
You got 2 routes.
Yeah, this is the easier one. This one gets really, really bad in the mud season, so I try not to go on it.
It is so cold, the microphone's literally died.
Oh, really?
My face is freezing.
Yeah.
Inside the mine is warm-ish.
No, I can start the propane heater. This is the mine here.
Haha. And you built all this too.
My birds, look at them all waiting. Look at them sitting in the tree. That's the first thing I do when I get here is to feed them.
Oh, he's coming up to you.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I've got quite a few of them. Gray jays. Hey guys. I haven't been down here for about a week, so
They're hungry.
they're hungry. I feed them cat food. Come on, guys. Well, they'll have a good day.
So your wife's main reason of moving here was she wanted to live off-grid. Was
Oh,
yours? Yours was the gold mine?
Yeah, that was my main interest. Boy, look at them all.
Yeah.
This is the most I've had all season.
The word got around, yeah.
I won't be starting a generator. It's too cold.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, it's 22 below, so it's not terribly cold.
It's a balmy day
Yeah, balmy.
in
day.
interior Alaska.
This door is
Jammed shut.
open. I'll have to come around this way.
Oh, you got like all sorts of machinery and equipment.
Yeah. This for some reason it's not working. No, this heater.
Oh, this is the mine down here. Okay. Wow.
That's the shaft there.
How deep does it go?
93 feet.
Holy.
Well, right now it doesn't go 93 feet. Boy, I've never had this heater not work. I think the propane is frozen.
Oh
I
yeah.
hear it. Well, that's a bummer. So anyway, yeah, come on in. This is my humble little shack here. I get a little more light. This is my hoist the bucket you see out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it all can be run from down below or above. I have controls that I can operate just with switches.
And you set all this up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything here is all what I did. The shaft was. Come on out here. I'll show you. That's the old mine operations. There's a hoist right in the forefront there. That's a big hoist. That operated the bucket out of this shaft. I found this shaft and I could tell that the pole that they called the gin pole originally was right there. In fact, Nathan and his brother dug up gravel at the base of where that pole was and washed it, and there we found lots of gold. And that's where I taught Nathan how to pan.
Yeah, Nathan was telling me gold fever's a real thing. As soon as you get the first, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I need more.
Yeah, we panned out there, and the creek is basically out here.
Yeah.
So we found a little pond and panned. That's how I knew there was a mine here, and we could tell that this was the shaft, although it was all filled with every kind of rubble you could think of. I gave up on a shaft that I had up the valley. I had dug a shaft that was 65 feet deep, and it had gold in it, but
You dug it yourself, the shaft.
it was basically an operation like this, but it was a little less elaborate. But I gave up on that, and I came over here and I said, they probably had some really good gold here, so I opened up this shaft. It took way more work than it should have been because the old miners they cut rail. They used little tracks underground, so they cut this steel rail in 5-foot lengths, and they threw pieces down in there. And it was all jumbled up, and I had to dig through that, and it was
Oh, that's horrible. I had a lot of enthusiasm back then, so I kept with it, and it got down 93 feet. That's where I hit bedrock. Almost immediately, I found the old workings, big timbers. There was an old wheelbarrow. I don't know if you can't really see it. And I actually started mining down there, followed an old drift. I found that the ceiling was starting to subside. Probably was doing that because they used to use steam. Even after 100 years, the ground was still soft enough that it was starting to settle down. I said, I'm getting out of here. Since then, I've had a lot of problems with water dripping down all during the summer and early fall, and it just accumulates on the walls, and I'm constantly having to remove lots of ice. There was 40 feet all the way of ice all the way to the bottom. Getting that ice out of there, that's what I have left to do before I can resume mining. Even though it's hard work, I'm anxious to get down, and I'll be going that direction when I mine underground. I don't think they went very far that way, and they did go all the way down. From here down, it's been mined about 9 miles downstream.
And do you know how old that shaft is?
Those are all over 100 years old. They're like 1920, 19...
And it's still standing. None of them caved in at all.
Oh yeah, a lot of them they're all collapsed.
Oh, so do you have your tools in here that you use?
Sorry about this. I'm getting ready to cut it down, but I don't know. Can you see anything?
Yeah. There we go.
This is more or less a workroom, storeroom. Then I got the generator in here. This is my military 10 kilowatt generator, diesel generator. It's been a good old reliable generator, but I probably would have difficulty starting it today. This runs everything.
But when you're actually in the mine, do you have machinery or use like a pickaxe?
One of my main tools that I use is basically a jackhammer. And what I do, we use heat, but we don't use steam. We use electric. And my friend Sam and I have developed these heat rods. What we do is we got a drill. Here's my drill. I use this drill, and I got a big drill bit, and we drill into the wall, into the frozen gravel. And you just put this heat rod in, connect them up. They're 110 volt, and I have a pattern. Right now I only have 6 rods, but I'm making more. And then you just turn it on when you leave for the day. Let it run all night, and it heats up a section that's maybe 6 feet by 6 feet. The heat just gradually, that's been introduced, just filters out, because these get up to about 1,000 degrees. You usually have portions that aren't thawed completely. You have to go in there with the jackhammer and clean them out. Then you just muck the gravel out to a bucket and hoist it out. Runs up the line, the bucket comes out up the shaft, runs out. I'd love to show it to you, but
it's too cold now.
It's too cold to get everything going.
And so how long did it take for you to design all these contraptions and everything?
I experimented in Colorado before I came up. I built another, they called it a carrier, that device that travels up the wire. That's the carrier. I originally made one out of plastic, if you can believe it, because I didn't have a welder. So I cut plastic and I made all the parts out of plastic, and it worked. But then I decided to go bigger, so I got this one, did some modification, and that's an original. That's at least 100 years old. Now that right there is the elevator that I use to just go up and down.
Oh, so you just stand in this thing?
Yeah, when it's hanging. It normally hangs right here in front of the ladder. The bigger one, that's the work elevator. I send down if I'm doing major work in the shaft. I've got a ladder that'll go all the way to the bottom, but that's not only used for emergency.
Okay. So is it too cold now? Are we not able to go down?
No. Well, you don't want to go down on the ladder. No way.
No, it's too dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's too much ice on the ladder right now. Yeah. I don't know if I can't really move much of anything. I could try to start the generator. You can just see if it'll start.
That is crazy. Just goes down, down, down. You do not want to fall down there. So you obviously had a lot of practice back in Colorado and learned a lot of survival stuff.
Well, not survival.
No, you didn't learn any survival things until you got here?
I wasn't into that. Yeah, that I've learned has been up here. It's hard to say, I've been in the survival mode because you can see we live almost as though we're living in town. But let's see if it'll start.
What are some tips you would have for someone who does want to live this kind of lifestyle?
Do your research. It doesn't sound like it wants to go.
So you have to wait till the springtime.
Oh no, I'll be getting that diesel heater down here. It'll start. I've had this start in colder weather than this.
Okay.
It's just that it takes, gotta use the glow plugs. Go on here. Are you getting any warmer? Or are you?
There's levels to cold. I feel like after it's below -10, it's all cold, you know?
Yeah.
You don't get used to it, do you?
Not really. I do have a phrase that I like. It's what you get used to, but I'm not sure that you really get used to it really cold. I've never experienced the real cold that a lot of my friends have experienced. They all know what it's like 70 below. The coldest I've experienced, I think, was 41 below. Boy, it sounds terrible. I've never heard it sound like that. I'm not going to attempt to think. I better turn my battery off.
So do you know how much gold is in this claim?
You just don't know until you get down there. That's kind of one of my big goals, is to determine how far the pay streak is. The old geologist that did a lot of research says the pay streak is around 30 feet wide. That is probably the amount of gold that they could economically mine. They had a budget like so many businesses. If they spent more money getting the edges of the gold than they had, it didn't make any sense. So they actually left a lot of the gold. Now we can mine it economically.
And so around how much have you already collected in your 18 years?
Most I've gotten comes from over 200 or 300 feet from here.
Okay.
There was another mine. They left quite a bit of gold, and I was able to process about 600 yards. I think I made 22 ounces. 22 ounces.
What's the worth of that? 22 ounces?
That was back when it was only about $1,100 an ounce. Now it's, $4,000.
So did you sell it back then, or?
Oh yeah, I got rid of it back then. I needed it.
So
needed the money.
What's the main goal with the gold mine?
Right now, my main goal is to sell it.
Sell the gold to
sell the claims. I'm getting old enough that it's too hard to work.
Yeah.
I can do it, but it's just taking a big toll. What I'd like to do is get these young guys, teach them how to do it, and then kind of let them go.
But you still want to stay in the cabin up there?
I don't. I want to stay there for as little as possible.
Oh, really? You don't like it?
It's too hard. It's too hard to live. Every day is another problem. Well, in the summertime, it's okay. In summertime, it's wonderful. But in the wintertime, it's just a constant headache.
And it's 9 months of the year, right?
Just to be honest with you, it's not fun.
And you seem like someone who's very resourceful, very self-sufficient already.
I don't know. There's no way we could ever live here if I wasn't able to do all the stuff I can do.
And it's still too much for even you.
Yeah. Well, it's not too much. It's just that you get tired of just constantly battling. It's just a constant battle. If there's too much pain and suffering, why do it?
So you like a certain amount, but this is too
I like
much.
A certain amount. In my past, I've been a long distance runner and ultra runner and all, and I've always said, if it gets to where it's too painful, why do it?
Yeah.
I don't really relish pain. I want it to be fun.
Yeah.
If it's fun, hey, I'll keep doing it.
So you'd like to like live in Fairbanks and then visit friends out here
Oh
every
yeah,
once in a while?
well, yeah. Fairbanks is a great place in the summer, especially. But I don't really enjoy this kind of cold. I don't, to be honest.
So where's your ideal place to live?
Both of us still want to live in a mountain, kind of a mountainous area.
Yeah.
If we could live in Ouray, Colorado, that's where we'd both like to.
Oh, it's like ice climbing capital of the world, right?
Yeah, we're still fishing around where we'd like to hang out for the rest of our days, but it'll never be in a city.
Yeah. Nathan, before even coming here, was telling me like you're as Alaskan as they get in terms of like figuring everything out on your own.
Well, yeah, I think I'm pretty much that. I do fit here, but I think if I was born and raised here, it'd be a lot easier for me to handle. I know too much about what else is out there.
Oh yeah.
I know that there's certain places that would be a lot more ideal than this.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing about Colorado has changed so much.
Yeah.
That I don't think either of us would appreciate it anymore. We could possibly live in Leadville. Love it up there. It's beautiful, and there's mining there. I was ready to stake some claims around Leadville. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
I'd do it again.
You'll say this is if you get it up and running properly with a couple of people helping you, it could be a pretty profitable business.
This could be immensely profitable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why I want to keep with it until we find that out. Yeah, because I know it's there.
Well, especially now, gold prices are just going up and up.
Yeah, it's going to go higher yet, too. And I can mine here in the summer. I mean, that's what most miners here work, but I can also work in the winter. It's 29 degrees at the bottom. It's warm.
Well, warm.
Yeah, oh yeah. When I'm down there, I can work in my shirt sleeves. Oh yeah, serious.
Yeah.
And in the summer, there's no mosquitoes, there's no rain. There's no wildfire smoke. It's really pretty nice down there all the time.
What does the temperature say now? Oh, close to minus 30, no? 28?
Let's see. Yeah, it's about 26 below. Yeah, it's about 26 below.
Fahrenheit.
Get the feet on, see if it moves. Yeah, it's right there.
27, 20.
I'd show you more of that, but it's so covered with snow.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. There's a huge boiler, came from a railroad engine. That's typically what they used. There's a big centrifugal water pump they used to pump the water out of the creek. They dammed up the creek and then it would flood in here. This whole area in here was like a big pond when they were doing prospecting. Oh, and that trommel there is, I built that in Colorado. And that's a...
You brought this with you?
It's a prospecting trommel.
Yeah.
We just run samples with that and get some gold.
So you can collect year round, but then it's only the summertime you can really sift through.
Yeah, that's the only time you can do anything.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right, you want to head back?
Yeah, let's do.
It's pretty cold.
Yes, awfully cold.
I am putting on the face mask for the ride back. Let's do this.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Maybe an hour and it is.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the tingles.
Oh yeah.
In your toes and your fingers.
Yeah. You'll really notice it getting warmer as we climb.
Yeah.
It's noticeable.
Yeah, the cabin never looks so good. I am covered in frost. Oh. Oh. This is heaven on earth right now.
It's a nice bonfire.
Oh, my boots are slipping.
You're here in one of the coldest times. times.
Yeah.
Wow, it is brutal.
Yeah. We are back in the warmth of the cabin. Fire never felt so good. You guys weren't from here originally. Most people in Alaska aren't, but you guys are very much Alaskan. What does that mean to you?
For me, it's independence from the norms that are expected.
Yeah.
If you live down in the lower 48, there are certain expectations, certain norms that you have to adhere to.
Yeah.
And I would just as soon not have to mold myself into that mold. So this is independence, and that's really what it's all about.
I've always been kind of, I don't want to say an oddball character, but
That fits, though.
oddball, just kind of doing what other people don't do. I think a lot of Alaskans are like that. We do things differently than the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Here in Alaska, you can be who you are.
Yeah.
You don't have to be who others want you to be.
Yeah.
And you see that in a lot of people here.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of very different types of people. They're all drawn here for different reasons, but like everyone's just accepts everyone else doing, as long as they're not hurting anyone, like
Right.
you do what you want to do.
Right.
And there is kind of more freedom. It's like live and let live. Even as far as regulations, you know, there's a lot less regulations here. You almost can't even mine anymore in the lower 48. There's just so many regulations.
Regulations here
Small-
do allow
small
mining.
matter. But,
Yeah.
but up here...
But there are regulations. There are plenty.
Yeah, there are.
But just the ones that actually are necessary and nothing extra. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be able to be in this remote situation, which is not really remote, to be able to get away from it all, and then in half an hour I can be watching the football game at the sports bar.
Yeah.
I really like that. I like to be able to mix both things.
Yeah.
She'd rather just stay out here.
Well, I feel like, this is just, it's a level of wilderness you can never get in the lower 48.
Yeah.
No,
You
no,
know,
no,
yeah.
there's no way.
You
No.
cannot. We have wolves that track down through here. We have bears that have come through here. And of course, moose all the time.
Yeah, I have to tell you a bear story.
It's
We've only ever seen one bear, we think, 3 times total, and it would wander around through the property right down there. Just keep on going. I saw it 2 years in a row like that, and then the next time I saw it was unexpected because something came. I was sitting in that chair in the corner, and something came very close and walked right by this window. I said, "Wow, that's a really big dog." And then it dawned on me, "Oh no, that's a bear." But that's the sum total of how many times we've seen bears here in this property.
And
in most
there's
places,
been grizzlies
Yeah, at the mine just
within
north
a
of
few
us.
miles here. I saw a big track. So they have come through.
Is there anything that you thought was really important to you in your previous life that you realize just isn't that important?
I mean, I would say less modern amenities, perhaps, but one of the conditions for me living in this cabin, when we were dating, he asked me if I had ever thought about living in Alaska, and I said, yeah. And so then when we started talking about the whole process of building this cabin a few years later, it's like, okay, I do have to have some sort of running water inside.
Yeah.
I do want electricity. Those are my 2 things that I really...
The laundry.
And a decent bath.
Yeah.
Laundry.
Yeah, laundry was a big one because I'd seen somebody out in the Manly Hot Springs area when we visited, and she was outside. She had her washer up on a hill, and I thought, I don't want to be going to the laundromat for one thing. I don't want to be doing laundry like that.
Yeah.
So I wanted laundry in the cabin. Probably the biggest thing for me that I don't feel a need to have as much as a big house. This is obviously very compact, and I actually designed it. Kurt made a couple of modifications, but it was based on the idea of how can we live really efficiently in a small space. But this has worked really well.
One thing I noticed since moving out here is I can pretty much do everything that I used to be able to do, everything that I wanted to do back in Colorado, I can do here and even more. It's not like I don't need certain things. I just found I can do them all here too.
Yeah.
I suppose the only thing that I can't do like that I'd like to do is I'd like to do the gold dredging. I'd like to be able to do that again, and I do actually have claims that are up along the Yukon. Got a boat now that I can get there by boat. We can get there by float plane. Maybe we'll bring you up there one.
Yeah, no, that'd be amazing.
One
Yeah.
of the things that's just occurring to me now too is that it feels like the opportunities are expanded here compared to what they are in the lower 48.
Yeah, they are. And Fairbanks has everything we could ever want as far as the city goes. All your big box stores has got lots of little shops. It's got mining industries, and then you've got all the natural beauty around. It just fits the bill,
Yeah.
except for the cold.
Yeah. Too cold. I'm back in the car with Nathan. That was actually the most bitter cold I've ever experienced. Still so surreal though, being able to experience not just off-grid life, not just Alaska life, but the extremities of both. But while even someone like Kurtis said it's perhaps getting a little too cold to keep living here in the wintertime, there is one reason many people love it here in the winter. And what's that, Nathan?
Oh man, baby, it's the Northern Lights all the way, Aurora Borealis. It's very addicting.
And Nathan took us for a show last night.
Something can be way far away, like if somebody's on way on the other side of a parking lot or something, and it's 25 below zero, and they talk, it sounds like they're right next to you. Kind of wild. All right.
So this is the little operation for Aurora viewing.
Welcome to my Pizza Hut. Watch your steps.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So it's like a, I was like, do we have to take shoes off? And then I'm like, oh, the floor is snow. So your main thing is making pizzas. It's nothing to do with Aurora photography.
Yeah, Aurora,
You're just a 5-star chef.
It's all about the pizza. This bad boy gets all the way up to 930 degrees, so it's a real pizza oven.
You moved here 25 years ago. You moved away for a little.
Yes, so I moved up in the year 2000, so it's been home for 26 years. But I did spend 9 years down in Portland, Oregon. I went to school down there and studied photography, and then I moved back up here, started doing tours, and one thing led to another. Next thing I know, I'm running my own company, and it's just been a blast. Alaska is really the land of opportunity. It's the last frontier. So if you want a business or some kind of a dream, like, you've got a good chance at being successful.
Could you ever see yourself living somewhere like Kurtis?
Oh, like on a homestead?
Yeah.
You know, I like my running water and my electricity that isn't powered by a generator that I have to fill up with gas. So I'm spoiled to my modern amenities. Although I do get a kick out of going out and hanging out with those guys. It's really one of the unique ways of living in Alaska that is still alive and well.
What's your favorite thing about interior Alaska?
I love the Aurora. I mean, I'm an Aurora fanatic. Crazy thing about it is I've seen it 1,000 times, and every single time it's so exciting. No two nights are the same.
Let's go see some auroras.
All right.
Oh yeah, my camera picks it up good. Wow. And literally 2 minutes later, the aurora is starting. It's a little green streak in the sky.
Woo! There she blows!
Holy, what a magical phenomenon.
I'm gonna get the streaks all the way over here. All right. Now it is gonna get
Welcome
toasty
to
in here. I'll probably turn those heaters down in a little bit. Good, hold still.